Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Honest Tattooer, and today we're going to talk about why your tattoos fucking suck and why you need to get better. What's up, guys, and welcome to Honest Tattooer. And each week we sit down with some of the best tattoo artists in the world and we discuss our craft, we share experiences, and this week we're going to talk about some shitty tattoos. And these tattoos actually are done by myself. So I figured that would be a great way to kind of segue into this by, if I'm going to trash anybody, I'm going to trash my own tats, which I do every day. Every day I do a tattoo, I feel like I immediately start trashing it. I feel like it's just my nature because I want to do better every fucking day.
That's the mark of a good tattooer. You're always your own worst critic. And if you look at yourself and you're like, yeah, man, I nailed it, you know, most likely you didn't. Yeah. And you're never going to improve unless you can actually critique your own work and see the flaws in it.
Exactly. Right. So I've been tattooing now for, I think it would be 17 years. And the tattoos that I shared with you guys today are all tattoos that are now 10 years old. So we usually start off our days by let's introduce ourselves and most of all, talk about your tattoo experience, because I feel like today is a very relevant day. When people talk to you about your tattoos, you want to know that they know what the hell they're looking at. So, right. Without further ado, that's my boy Matriano in the building.
Hey, how you doing? I guess I'll start off with this. Hey, how you doing? I started tattooing in 2006, and the first couple of years were rough. And I wasn't one to pick up onto tattooing quickly. I could draw, I could paint, but for some reason, pulling a clean line and saturating colors took some time for me to get really good at. And I mean, a lot of it had to do with the guy that was teaching me how to tattoo wasn't really all that great to begin with either. So I had to figure a lot of it out on my own. But, eventually I got there and, I guess I'm doing all right now. I feel like
you're doing pretty fucking awesome fucking tats.
Thanks.
Next up, G Money in the building. What's up, brother? Good to have you back.
Likewise, glad to be back. It's always fun on this podcast, so I figure I keep being a reoccurrence. So yeah, guys, I've been tattooing about like 16, close to 17 years. I started off in Miami. I kind of did my apprenticeship around there, 2 years. Moved up to New York, where I figured like, if there's going to be any artists in tattooing that are killing it, it's going to happen in New York. So I kind of like to I took a dive in those shark-infested waters. And we're here today.
Cool.
Okay.
Right.
Hello, Vega here. No Idols NYC's beginner tattooer. I've been learning at No Idols for about 2 years now tattooing, but I've been with the shop for 5. Being a new tattooer certainly has its ups and downs, especially trying to tattoo honestly and professionally, especially trying to make sharp lines. But I'm my own worst critic, especially on tattoos that are just not in my comfort zone of drawing, I guess.
What's going to be great for you today is the three of us are going to look at these tattoos and we're going to be able to pick out the things that could have improved upon and what John obviously does a lot better now. Mm-hmm. And I know that you got the eye for it, but I bet that a lot of the tattoos that we're about to see that John did 10 years ago, you're going to be like, man, that was fucking great. Like, I can't even do that now.
That's pretty good already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine anything that we're about to look at is going to be anything that, but I don't know.
You're going to be surprised, guys. You're going to be surprised. It's a matter of like a lot of things that I've learned along the way. And I'm happy to, bear it all and show it to you guys, show you what I've been up to,
Let's do it. Let's move right along.
Cool. Okay. So let's start with the first tat. Good way to go.
So we're looking at the sugar skull. Okay. So why don't you talk about it? Do you remember who this is on?
Yeah, man. I actually do remember this client. So this client I did, you see the cross that's in the front, it's young guy wanted to get I think he had this cross. And of course, after the cross, he was like, oh, dude, I want to turn this into like a half sleeve. And at the time, sugar skulls and were real hot. He had seen them and he wanted one. And it's like, all right, dude, let's do it. So we ended up doing like, to fill up the arm, we did like 2 roses, and then we added like that sugar skull and like the back rose, and the back part, with the back rose right there.
Right on. Actually, maybe John, do you want to go first or do you want to go last? Do you want us to kind of put our 2 cents in and then you go last, or do you want to kind of get it out of the way first?
I guess, yeah. I guess you guys can go first.
All right,
that'd be better.
So, yeah, the first thing that threw me off about this tattoo was how thin the outline is around the perimeter, like the silhouette of it, and how thick the outline is on that flower on top of like the skull part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that immediately draws my eye to the wrong spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's, it's one of those things where like I did this tattoo, but I don't remember where my head was at, doing the tattoo because it's so long ago.
Yeah.
And every picture, like if you look at the top, you can see the date when it was done. And this was December 10th, 2012.
2012.
Okay.
I was already at that point in my career at a point where I started wanting to simplify things because I had already been tattooing at this point.
Probably about 6 years, right?
Yeah. And I had already seen some things come back where I'm like, oh man, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that looked cool when I did it. No, it didn't work out as much. And I was like, let me simplify things a little bit more. And I was doing a lot of neo-traditional tattoos. And I wanted to find a balance between doing neo-traditional tattoos that still had a more simplified look to them, like a traditional tattoo would be, but still kind of elaborating on it a little bit more,
Right.
Just a tad bit more. And I love doing black and gray things. And I've always, liked simple color palettes with tattoos, like not a lot of, things, which you'll see with all of these tattoos, I completely backed out on.
The outline is solid. It's nice,
Yeah.
clean.
It's a nice and clean
Super solid.
outline.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's super clean.
I'll tell you one thing it's a quick gripe for me about this tattoo is the center of the flower.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
The center of the flower
Being behind the teeth.
being behind the teeth and
Yeah.
the way that
it's not
the
opening
flower,
up.
exactly. The angle in which the rose is opening doesn't match the same angle in which the center of the flower is,
Yep. Yep.
It's like I wanted to simplify doing the tattoo in that center area because I would have had to face, turn the angle of that like rose so you could see more of like the spiralness in the center or
Yeah.
simplify that, which would have been easy. And instead I've just played it easy and I was like, oh, well, it's going to be hidden anyways by the skull. So I just put it up in that way. But overall, it would have looked better if that rose would have been pointing towards
Yeah.
the viewer.
For sure.
That center, you know?
Mhm.
Yes.
It's so funny. Our eyes got accustomed to these CPLs. So
Filter
like,
where it's rich.
Yeah, the blacks
Super
are black,
rich.
like-
the blacks are really rich.
so, I mean, I could tell that the blacks they're solid. There's no patchiness to it, but it's hard to tell if they're actually black.
Well, there's something, for example, if you look at the top leaf, right? In the top leaf that's like by the eye of the skull,
Mhm.
like that should be heavier black.
Yeah.
Where that edge of the skull and that flower petal are, if that was darker overall, it would make a much stronger design.
You guys want to add anything before we move on?
Also, like, for example, like I hate that I didn't shade to the line on that petal. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Those are little things that drive me nuts about tattoos.
Yeah. And that all comes with experience and technique and everything like that too.
Yeah, getting the eagle eyes.
Again, like you wanted to simplify it, but I feel like there should be some texture in that skull. Like especially like where the like the cheekbone kind of curls in to go into the teeth. Like usually that's like really gnarly looking.
A little bit
Yeah.
deeper, a
Yeah.
little bit,
It's just super smooth here.
it's super smooth, super soft.
Like a marshmallow skull.
I wish I would have gave that whole thing a really nice bold outline on the top of that skull.
That would have made a
That's,
huge difference.
what I
Oh
was
my
gonna point out.
God, that would have made a huge difference.
All right, cool. Moving on.
Yep.
Moving on.
Let's move on. Oh.
Ooh, look at this one.
Woo! This is rough.
Oof.
This is rough, gentlemen. And now, wait, this is
This is
what's
2011.
good. This is 2011.
Sea Caucus, you did that as at a convention, didn't you?
Dude,
I did this at a convention in
the
Sea
times-
Caucus.
oh my goodness.
2011, guys.
the blue background.
The blue background, which is great because, like, if you think about it, like, we just saw that was a 3-year difference.
Yep.
You know, 2-year difference. I'm sorry, from the last tattoo.
No,
Like
it was
this-
1 year,
No, the other one's
2012.
Oh, that was 2012. I thought it was 2013.
Yeah.
Sorry.
2012.
There's things about this tattoo at that point where when I was already tattooed, like at this point when I was tattooing, I could like pack some color in there pretty solid. But man, this fucking face is jacked.
Dude, the whole body, man. Look at that like noodly torso that she's got.
Noodly, this
goes
rib
the
cage.
whole body.
Bro, my guy, look at these feet. Look at the feet. What happened to these feet?
You're hiding the toe
I was gonna
blade.
say the feet don't look so bad. Like at least you got like some remnant of like
The
line work
feet.
toes.
You got the Barbie doll feet.
the Barbie doll
thing
feet. There you
happening
go.
right there, which is fine.
Fucking, I gave her cankles for no fucking reason. What the fuck? You know, and the neck is killing me. The neck is
You think
killing
the-
me. The overshading of the face, the eyes are terrible. God damn it.
Man, don't you hate looking at stuff like this and be like, man, I did that?
And then overall, and then it's just a fucking, look at the glariness and terribleness of this fucking photo.
John Mason now would have probably never designed something that was like those flowers that will match the warmth of her skin tone that you were trying to portray there.
Yeah.
You'd probably want to create some contrast.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably what your mindset was, putting that blue back there, right? To get
Yes,
some
to
contrast.
give some
Exactly.
contrast to break it up. It's like, oh
Exactly.
man, it needs something to bring this out. Oh man. All right. If you look at the right hand that's holding the cigarette, right? You see, I was doing this like outlining within in brown. Can you see that of like the bracelet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
See, the bracelet is like outlined in brown on the inside to kind of give it that like, oh, it's gonna look a little softer in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fucking, that's dumb. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Just
kids.
give it a black outline.
I'll
Just
let you in on a
give
little
it a
secret.
black outline,
I did that exact thing today.
Oh my goodness.
Triana, just give it a black outline.
Just
dude.
give it a black outline.
Next time that guy comes back, dude, I'm gonna reline it.
Let me just tell you why. Can I airdrop this to you guys today?
We don't need to hear the reason. Just don't do it.
Just
No,
don't do it.
Don't do it,
I gotta
please.
justify myself. Yeah, I'm gonna airdrop this.
Just
Airdrop. Hold on. Where are you guys? You know what? Forget it.
Forget it.
Don't even worry about it.
don't worry about it. Let's go.
I tattooed brown today. No one cares.
Tattooed.
So why didn't you do like a very diluted gray?
So the goggles are going to be yellow.
Right.
I chose brown.
Yeah, just keep it warm.
Yeah.
The yellow.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I'll show the glare in the face.
We'll see how it heals.
Out of
It's gonna be fine.
this whole tat, right? Another thing that I can't just keep pointing things out. I hate about this tattoo. Man, these leaves are terrible, bro. These leaves
You put blue
are
tips.
bad, bro. They're blue,
Yeah, the blue tips is an interesting choice.
blue
Blue
tips, bro.
Blue
Blue tips on the leaves.
That's like
and
an aqua Miami blue tip.
So is it the same blue as your background?
Man.
No, it's different.
No, it's
it looks like
different.
the blue on her tats.
Ah, okay.
You know, it
Which
looks
I would
like the
love to
blue
see what
on her
that looks like
tats.
right now.
I would love what this whole thing looks like right now.
Specifically the tattoos on her.
Um,
You know what my favorite part about this is the hand of the arm that the crow is sitting on.
Yes.
Like where is that hand
where
coming
is
from?
that hand coming from, bro?
But you
know?
can still see it.
You
She
can
has
still
like an
see like a
appendage.
little tiny bit of like her,
She's doing
of
the
her
lean.
arm like coming on the bottom there, but it's like
That's like coming out from her bicep.
Okay.
Maybe her elbow.
So is she Italian or Mexican?
she's Italian, bro.
She's Italian. Look at the flag.
gal.
Look at the flag tank top.
Italian gal.
She could
Bro,
be. All right.
The white highlights on the hair on the top, killing me, fam.
Yeah.
Just killing me. And overall,
Isn't it crazy to
yo,
look back at your
look
work
at
like
these
this?
fucking eyebrows, bro. Why did I fuck up those eyebrows like that? I mean, I fucked up the nose and the rest of everything, but like, why did I do those eyebrows like that? What was I thinking?
You got that one long nostril.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gave her the Michael Jackson nose.
What's crazy is that this isn't that
Butchered.
far from looking pretty decent with some better outlining.
Oh, with some better
Yeah.
outlining and some, better tones in certain places, and
Yeah.
just better outlines would make this tattoo look better.
So you did this at a convention.
Yeah.
Did you draw this at the convention?
Yes.
I bet that had a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I bet I was moving way too fast.
Yeah.
I was trying to get started because it was probably gonna. I would love to know what day of the convention this was. Probably a Sunday. They were gonna close early.
I mean, we could probably look in a calendar and see what September 25th is, 2011.
Yeah, I know, dude. I would ask Alexa and she would tell me. One thing about tattooing Sundays at tattoo conventions is that it's the one day that they close earlier.
Yeah.
So sometimes, especially if the last 2 days you've been tattooing till like really late, and then Sunday they're like, all right, you got to be done by like 7. You're like, oh shit. And if you were a guy like me that would go out on Saturday nights and start late on Sunday, you find yourself in a pickle.
So instead of just trashing this tattoo, let's talk about something that could have improved it. And Gabe already said just stronger outlines could have done it. I'm going to take it one step further and just say, even though, what is this, on a thigh?
Yeah, on a thigh.
So even though it's a large body part, I think that you could have gotten rid of the whole bottom half of this tattoo, zoomed in, cropped from like the waist up, and just really focused on hands and face, and you would have had a much better tattoo. Like you would have been able to get more detail in that face, cleaner.
I get that, but that makes it a different tattoo.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
especially like if when people say I want a pinup girl, they don't want a girl head.
Right.
They
They want
want
a
a
whole thing.
pinup girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I get that, but that's not what he wanted.
So then what I would have done is gotten rid of the flowers and just focused more on
just the girl.
Yeah, spend your time on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another thing that like the pose, like it's like if I would have, especially for the area that it's on, if I would have figured out like a pose where it was a little bit more for the spot, for the area, you could change the body,
Yeah.
so it's wrapping out a little bit too much, maybe in the photo, like, but I think the tattoo's wrapping a little bit too much overall.
Looks forced.
Yeah. Looks forced into the spot, you
Yep.
know?
Okay. Move on.
Oh,
Well,
wait. One last thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Is although there are blacks in certain areas, there's not enough use of black.
Balance throughout the design for sure.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
If you
Exactly.
replaced all that blue with black, it would have been magnitudes better. Like the background.
Oh, the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some black and gray shading instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
We live and we learn. That's
Yeah.
the process. That's the beauty.
And so I just want to add something. We got a DM today on the shop's Instagram, and it's a new tattooer. And he was like, dude, I've listened to all the episodes. I'm like so happy that I'm learning a lot from the shows that I'm not getting from the people at the shop, that I'm not, surrounding myself with. So hopefully, younger tattooers can look at stuff like this today and maybe learn something from it too.
Mhm.
Cool.
Something that plagued my early work too, was like, man, I can see so many of them. Just tangents. There's tangents central
yeah.
in
Yeah.
this fucking tattoo. Like I can see so many of them like now, like vividly. I'm like, oh man, look at that tangent there. Look at that tangent there. Like, look at that little bit where the hand that is by the bird, see how it's like tight, like slightly overlapping the leaf, but not like on the leaf and just like barely touching. And the same thing happens with the beak of the bird. I could have literally just got rid of that whole leaf and that would make it feel better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the placement of the top rose on her shoulder while she's smoking the cigarette.
Yes.
The-
Too busy.
Yeah, it's too busy right there. So the bud just kind of like blends out and disappears, and it doesn't follow through with that bowel shape.
Yes. 100%.
So
And the leaf that's coming from behind the head, which doesn't look like it's supposed to be behind the rose,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's
you
attached
can't
to her.
tell.
it looks like it's part of her headdress.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly. Like it's part of her freaking top. It's, oh man. Sorry, guy. Sorry, guy.
One thing that catches my eye too. So the bottom
Keep
rows.
destroying it, bro. Right
yeah.
now.
Sorry. Last one.
Yeah,
Last
bro.
one.
No, I'm just kidding.
Last one.
We got
I mean,
that
you-
juice. That's what it's here for.
Yeah.
We're talking about these tangents now. Oh, fuck, I just lost it. The bottom rows. So the line of her back leg, the knee, it like flows down
With the
her leg
rose.
and then also into her, like the petal of the rose.
Yes,
too.
100%.
Yeah.
You see it right there. There's another fucking tangent. Like it's like, oh, that back, is
one
it
of
the
those
back leg or is it the back of the rose? Like you can't tell.
All right.
Man,
Okay.
Live and learn, right?
you live and you learn.
Personally, I think a lot of tattooers, or at least newer tattooers, they spend more time critiquing the actual tattoo and not enough critiquing the design. Like you got to spend a lot of time like working on that design and making sure that stuff like that doesn't happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Because a lot of this stuff, I mean, yeah, a lot of this stuff is some technical application problems with the tattoo itself, but most of what we're talking about is all design
Problems.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you're watching it right now, you want to have this experience. We could talk to you on the phone and talk about your tattoos with you. You don't have to come to the show. If you were down to send us your work, we would be more than happy to critique your work, give you some true, honest tattooer talk, and tell you how you can get better. Because I feel like, if you're not getting that at your shop, send us some photos, and maybe in the next segment we can reach out to you and talk to you about your tats, man.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Anyways, guys, it's a wrap. But make sure that you follow Honest Tattooer on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Of course, hit that bell. And also follow me on Instagram, John Mesa Tattoos NYC. And the rest of you guys.
Oh, you can follow me at Matt Triano. That's it. Yep.
Yep. You can follow me at Gabe Tattoos altogether.
And you can follow me at Last Rewards.
Dope, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
Peace.